welcome to this week's edition of Mainley Motorsports. And people are excited now, Greg. Every week they tune on, they're wondering, is Greg still there? Right? I told you, we'll probably go into, we could go to our weight.
I got a secret weapon I'm coming with.
You do?
Yeah.
What's that?
Can't tell you.
What do you mean you can't tell me?
I can't tell you.
What's the secret?
I can't tell you.
I mean, is a secret weapon to keep you on air? I mean, there'll always be a home for you. You know that, right? We're just going to send you on assignment. Right? Beirut, Iraq. You know what I mean, how they do? But no, that's what you always, I mean, I got a home for you. But there's something to be said about having a little blonde sitting next to me.
Put it to the fan vote. That's all I'm saying.
Put it to the fan vote?
Mm-hmm. If
Really?
the fans speak, then I'll lose my free lunch every other week or whatever.
I'll still take you to lunch once in a while. The problem is, what if the fans vote and I'm gone?
As long as you're going to still do the behind-the-scenes stuff, then.
Well, I can't take a chance and lose. You know what I mean? Anything I do, any type of contest, any race,
we know you're going to be a winner.
It's usually rigged or manipulated, so I win. You know what I mean? So I can't take a chance that
That's
I lose.
why I don't want to race anything against you, because I'm afraid that whatever the vehicle is, that there'll be like sand in the carburetor or something like that, or sugar in the gas tank.
I don't have to go to that extremes.
Yeah.
I mean, but no. So now
like you wouldn't.
No, I would, but no, I would.
Right.
But great show planned today.
Yeah.
We got our one-lunger footage.
Yeah.
We're going to show some one-lunger footage to hear from the winners of the mod class and the stock class, which hopefully next year they will have the 275 and above class. And I'm pretty sure after they got bantered with emails and phone calls and text messages about why Greg and Steve weren't out on the track, that they will make sure that they have something next year.
They just wanted to see me roll around in the water like a turtle like the year before.
Well, I just wanted to see 15 of us riding around. I mean, that would look like... It'd be like a cross between the convoy or the Clydesdales pulling the Budweiser wagon. I mean, that's my take on it, But no, it's good. It's all good, and we traveled down to, both of us were over in Scarborough for the DT 100.
Yep.
Over at MIK, and we had Dave Thomas on a couple weeks ago, and boy, they do a lot of work to pull that event off.
Yeah, and I didn't actually. I mean, the sound wasn't the greatest at times, depending on where you were in the building and stuff like that. So, did you actually hear a number on how much they raised?
I don't think, because they raised some more last night,
Right.
and they still do some others.
Yeah.
So, I'm hearing this is probably going to be their biggest year yet.
Right.
And, we'd like to, get a little more involved. We got involved this year and presented the trophies, and everybody
yeah.
seemed to be very pleased with the hardware they took home.
Yeah.
And, I come up with an idea for Dave, and I threw it at him yesterday, and, a couple other guys, and they thought it was a great idea. The Obese Invitational. Well, the problem is, if you've never been to the DT 100, and we're going to have a lot of footage with it next week, it's quite a process to go to the A main.
Yeah.
It's almost like a World of Outlaws race. You
Yeah.
go to the A race to get into this race, to this race, to this race, before you get way in the A main. And it's kind of along that way, because you got 100 guys and or gals narrowing down to those 12
Right.
final spots
Right,
in the
yeah.
light, medium, and heavy. But my Obese Invitational idea is you get, we start with a certain weight and you're invited to come. You race. You just have your race. You don't have to go through that qualifying process. And,
Right.
And the idea is to
We
raise
go
more
out
money.
because we couldn't handle doing the day's events.
Oh, no. Oh, my God, no.
Not unless we had a sponsor
nice-
from an oxygen company.
Yeah, nice little 10-lap race or something, or 10 laps.
Yeah.
Is, is good. And, and my thought was to raise money is make each guy, or gal, if we got some gals in the 350 range or whatever they want to come race, they have to raise their weight in fundraising.
Right.
So, and now the 12 at 3 to 350, I mean, it's now the $4,000 towards make
Right.
race. So I think
So if you weigh 340 and you raise 340, then
That's-
you get there and you get on the scales and you're 345, you better be looking
you
for
got to reach in $5.
Abe Lincoln out of your pocket
Yeah.
because you got to get up
But
there.
no, what a great time, some great racing, and it's all over Facebook. But we'll have next
Yeah.
week and some pictures. But thank you to Dave McGuire, who shoots down the Star, and was there all day shooting. And then they had the after party, banquet, pig roast, all that last night, and a Saturday night. It was a good time over there, and it's my buddy Greg, but he was off at a big another function.
Yeah, I went to Rick Shepard's retirement soiree, I guess you could say, and there was a lot of people from his career, in firefighting, law enforcement, EMS, You know, and he does stuff with Speedway Safety Services. He's
Oh,
also the
he's-
flagman for PASS.
Yeah, he's
you know, he's
loud and style.
been
Yeah,
around.
he's everywhere.
So he's got all those different, you know, law enforcement families plus his racing family and stuff. And there was just a whole eclectic group of people.
And he has a car owner championship
Yeah,
under his belt
yeah.
with Ryan Shepard back
Right.
when he was a car owner. So, you know, Shep's been around a long time. And
That it kind of opened my eyes a little bit to what he's done. I mean, I've known him for 15, 20
like,
years.
career eyes? You gotta think about a career now?
No.
Oh, okay. No, I thought maybe.
But I mean, it just
Hey, news release. Greg's off the couch, right?
so. I mean, it was fun, you know, and got to see, you know, some stuff, but it made me think of, you know, what those guys do. Those men and women in law enforcement, in firefighting, in EMS,
Huge.
and stuff like that. And, you know, maybe at some of the racetracks that we go to, we don't appreciate them as much. I mean, like, you know, the tracks that have Speedway Safety Services obviously know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, they get it. The tracks who have dedicated fire crews, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just something, you know, it's another thing that tracks need to look at and put out there, you know.
Yeah.
Be out there and
those
look.
guys, you know, they're there for you. You know,
Right.
and it's just like the racer. You know, it's not a problem to appreciating those guys. You know,
Right.
You know, they don't expect nothing but a little hey, the best night for those guys is when they don't do nothing.
Right.
That's a great night for them.
They get free cheeseburgers and Cokes
And do nothing.
what,
'Cause
right.
that means there was nothing bad happened, no
Right.
wrecks, no, you know. So that's
But
a good night for them.
To have them there for any
Knowing
situation.
they got
right.
your back, and you know, and then you know, obviously, you know, that Shep's retirement party probably didn't last all hours of the night, right?
No, you know, they did have one thing at it. You know, they had like a little roast thing, and I was thinking, boy, man, I wish Steve was here because nobody could have roasted Shep like you could have. It would have been funny. So, no, it fizzled down 9:45, 10 o'clock or so. So the group I was with, we headed over to Memory Lane in Standish because they had a little benefit for Roland Junkins, who
It's a name from the past.
yeah, he's been with Beaver Norton's mom for 35 plus years
Yeah.
or whatever, and he's down and out right now. Got a little sickness, and they had a benefit for him. And you know that I spent probably 6 years with Beaver.
Yeah.
So I was around Roland forever, and you always learn stuff from certain people that you deal with in racing.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that Roland taught me the most is no matter what you got for equipment, if you prepare it properly and attack the situation, you never back down. You can win with anything.
Oh yeah, no.
You know, to go out and
No, you're
get
right.
after it. So.
No, you're right. And Roland is a great guy.
He also taught me to be scared a few times.
Really. I remember number 82. That was his
Yeah.
car number, right?
Yeah,
82.
he raced for years, yeah.
Yeah. So no, and so that's good, and hopefully things work out for him and his family, and you know, so it was a busy weekend. And in between my after party and the DT 100, I flew up to Augusta, not literally, but you know, some people
Right.
thought it was flying, and had to catch the Class A. Me and my buddy Lux, and you know, I'm telling you, he himself is worth the price of admission. The price of admission to go to these games, especially when it's a big game, and especially when number 33, Victoria, is having a game.
Right.
Which she did. She had 11 points, 19 boards, 4 blocks. I mean, he like turns around to the crowd, flexes his muscles, like, wow, or he does this, you know what I mean? He's just, and then he gets, you know, he's nervous. You know, he looks at me during timeouts, and, well, I mean, nervous wreck. This is, I mean, and I love going, and I've known Victoria, she's the same age as my daughter. I remember when she got into go-kart racing, remember how fast she got out of go-kart racing. Dad and her weren't clicking, but great kid, and you know, he's just a typical parent.
Right.
Well, I shouldn't say a typical parent, because not all are like
He's
this.
over the top.
He's over the top. Saturday morning, 4 a.m., I get my first call from him. 4 a.m. in the morning. Barry, you know, you got to see this. You got to do this. You got to, you know, this. You know, she's ready tonight. It's going to be a big game. They got some height. They got this. It's 4 a.m. The game is at 7 p.m. But that's Lux. And
He probably stayed up all night.
I always got his back. And we're going to have him on an upcoming episode. He is going to come on, and you guys will see why I call him Luke the Coop. I'll make sure I'm on my best game that day to get him fired up. So congratulations, Macaulay. That's 3 state championships in
Yep.
a row. Don't look like it's going to get any any tougher for them. They got most of their supporting cast is coming back, so it'll be another fun year. But we've got commitment because we want to go to Daytona. I've never been, and he wants to go to Daytona, but that's
to the big race.
Everything, the whole week.
I've never been either.
Really?
Never even been down there.
Well, we have 2 more years of high school basketball, so in 3 years we made the deal and we shook hands on it at the game Saturday night. We're going to Daytona. Me and Lux. After her senior year, the next year when she's not high school, she's in college, she can play college without us. But we're going to Daytona, and Lux is paying the bill. I stroked my deal. That's the best time to get him. Guy's kid just won the States. How happy do you think he is? Lux, when we go in Daytona? 2 years, right? Yeah, and you're paying. Yeah, you got it. I'm paying. So.
Did you tell him you got to bring your TV crew too?
Yeah, we'll just bring everybody. But no, so it was a great weekend. Congratulations to Dave Thomas and everything they raised. And
congratulations to Victoria and her whole team.
And everybody we get here next week will have the results and the number, and it's going to be a big number for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and Todd Mead for the awards and everybody. That was
they were all very.
That was a huge hit this year. And
they were very impressed.
Like you said,
Yeah.
You involve yourself with Steve Perry and award champs and Todd Mead. You're going to have some nice hardware.
Right.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
It was true.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, right here on Mainley Motorsports.
0% financing for the first time in history on select certified pre-owned vehicles at Southern Maine Motors. Southern Maine Motors is selling so many new Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeeps that they are overloaded with great trade-ins. Now with live market vehicle pre-owned pricing gathered by electronically polling over 20,000 pre-owned car websites every hour, they will show you their competitors' closest vehicle and price. Proof that you are getting the fairest deal out there. Visit them on Route 1 in Saco or online at southernmainmotors.com.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Award Champs, rewarding your champions, the official supplier of Mainley Motorsports TV.
Well, we saw a lot of racers
Yep.
at the DT100 really racing not what they want to be racing.
No, I mean, it was a little rough and stuff, but speaking of like real racing and stuff like that, didn't Reed Lanford kick off his career down at Motor Mile with JR Motorsports?
This was his first weekend,
Yeah.
and it was pretty neat because I got a text the other day that he had just texted his dad that he just got out of his meeting with Dale Jr.
Yeah.
to talk about the weekend, and
Probably a little awestruck.
I would be awestruck, you know what I mean? So then, they went to the race, and it was 2 twin big races, back to back, and he finished. I think he finished 11th in the first one and 12th in the second one, and
Right.
really pleased. And
pretty much first race on that facility at that track.
Well, at that level,
and then that level in that kind of car. Really,
he run. What did he run last year? 3 or 4 pro stock races,
Right.
And one of them was at Wisconsin against Kyle Ferguson.
You're right. Yeah.
So it was like that fun day.
Yeah.
But the 2 grand, so nothing with, they had 25 and 26 cars starting.
Yeah,
So to
he's
finish in the
getting
top half
after
of the
it now,
field,
yeah.
His teammate Josh Berry finished up there. He beat Reed in one and Reed beat him in the other. And,
Yep.
he's the reigning champion for Motor Mile for the NASCAR, Whelen All-American Series. So, I think, and I said it last year, and I'm not just touting him because we know him and stuff, the kid has a bright future.
Yeah.
And now to have that opportunity where he's got the best of the best, and he's got people, and that's what hurts a lot of these kids, and there's nothing you can do about it because they aren't going to get those opportunities. Is where it isn't mom and dad funding it all, and mom and dad doing it all. Mom and dad now can play mom and dad.
Right.
Now there's other people. And it was funny, talking to Scott Saturday night on the way back from the game, and he says, I saw, if you taught, and you saw, he has to have like a debriefing and everything with the team, which, that's that level.
Right.
And but the sad part is, Greg, that level isn't really any different than the Pro All-Star Series or Beatrice Weekly, but they treat it that way, so no stone gets unturned. You don't sit there at the shop Thursday night and say, oh, crap, Dan, I meant to tell you this Saturday night, because after your race, you guys load up and, shoot the crap, shoot the bull, whatever. But you don't, but what would a team?
The ride home is our debrief.
Yeah,
usually.
debriefing. But if and depending on how your night went, now I'm sure they have their debriefings, win, lose, or draw. So,
right.
So congratulations to them. We're gonna do our best to keep everybody updated because it's,
And you can say that he was on your team first.
Yeah.
With a straw hat and his coveralls.
Yeah, and he didn't let me down. I let me down. But so we're gonna keep all our viewers because we know he has a lot of fans that shooting and pulling for him. I mean, this is no different than when Andy had his shot or Ricky had his shot. You didn't have these opportunities then. They went right into the
Right.
They were going south. They had to go right to the nationwide.
Yep.
You didn't have the trucks. You didn't have the other what Reed is getting. So hopefully he can do us all proud up here in Maine and pull off a win or something. Or just keep improving and impress the people he has to impress. And we'll be watching him on Sundays.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So we take a break. We come back. One longer. I mean, next year we'll be there, but this year we weren't. So we got some.
We were there, but we didn't race.
We were there. We got some one-lunger footage, some highlights, some helmet cam, and you're gonna hear from the winners in the 2 one-lunger races.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, 2 of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Under the bright lights of your playing field, one performer continues to shine. The Fisher Extreme V. With durable X-bracing, the Extreme V carries the load. With precision passes, the power to bust through, the maximum protection of the Fisher trip edge, and the brightest lights available. Fisher, your business, our passion. See Weir's Motor Sales Incorporated in Arundel.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Back in the hills, down in the hollers where the folks were real, living with the crazies and the old white cats, sawed-off shotguns and coonskin caps. That's where I'm from, and I'm proud to say I'm from the country and I like it that way. Everybody knows everybody, everybody calls you friend. You don't need an invitation. Kick off your shoes, come on in. Yeah, we know how to work and we know how to play. We're from the country and we like it that way. All day long we work in the fields and bring it on home to a home-cooked meal. We love you like Sunday and we treat you Kick off your shoes, come on in. You know how to work and you know how to play. We're from the country and we like it that way. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody calls your friend. You don't need an invitation. Kick off your shoes, come on in. Yeah, we know how to work and we know how to play. We're from the country. We're from the country. We're from the country and we like it that way.
Here up at the One Lung, we just finished the 25-lap One Lung mod race, and here's your winner in dominating fashion, Richard Marston. So just tell everybody real quick, how much fun is that out there?
It's really fun. I'm getting kind of old, so the 20 laps just about right for me. It gets really rough out there, but it was a good time. There's a good group of guys to race with.
I guess you're old because you went 25 laps, so you lost count after 20, so you got 10 fingers, 10 toes,
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much. That's the way it goes.
Tell everybody a little bit about your sled.
It's a 73 Arctic Cat Cheetah with a 292. And pretty much my dad helped me out with it quite a bit. And he grew up with these, so he's pretty sharp with that old stuff.
Now, what do they do? What's the difference between the mod class and the stock class?
I guess you can get in the motor a little bit more than a stock class, and you can run a different track, and basically little stuff like that. Pretty much.
Do you want to tell us what you guys did? Or are you going to save
Not
that for
really.
your own secret?
No, because I'll make another rule up next year if I tell you what they did.
Oh, really? Well, all right, but you know, how do you think that works, splitting the classes up? I know last year there seemed some more haves and have-nots, but this year kind of put all you guys together. I mean, you were the dominer, but you started up front, so that's a little helper too, you know?
Yeah, it makes more parity in everybody, because not everybody has the mechanical ability to get into them like other people, so it makes it fair for everybody, you know.
So other than your dad, who else has been helping you out?
Scotty Ames helped me down at Ames a little bit with the motor, and basically I do a lot of work at my garage myself. And a lot of it's just getting it to live for 25 laps.
Yeah, and how many years you been doing this event?
I've done every one they've had.
First time winning?
No, I won it back in 03.
All right, so you are the man, huh?
Well, I know about that. But.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. Most people know us for our RV sales and service. We're also Maine's largest trailer dealer. With over $1 million in stock and online at scotchrecreation.com. From 2-place opens to 5-place enclosed and everything in between. Our showrooms are stuffed with used snowmobiles, new jackets, bibs, pants, gloves, boots and helmets, plugs, belts, oil, and more. We're ready for winter. Are you?
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by...
Looking for a great time, great people, and great food? Then visit New England's #1 biker destination, Bentley Saloon, located on Route 1 in Arundel. See why Bentley says, who has more fun than us? We do.
Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership, Route 1 Saco.
So we missed the boat. We didn't get a chance to race up there at the One Lunger, but next year when we do, it'll probably be like minus 15 degrees, right? Blizzard conditions. You know, we can't get the nice.
You're outside for 3.5, 4 hours. You're gonna get cold, but it was fairly.
But
mild.
they did at least this year they had, as the video shows, they had a lot better track to work with.
Yeah,
last year,
it wasn't.
We didn't have the sinkholes, but boy, it gets.
It wasn't so warm that it got muddy and sloppy.
It gets worn out.
Oh, it does. Even, what I thought was great was some of the corners pretty much turned to ice. So the guys are going into the corners and they're sliding around and they're getting on the gas, coming out of the corner and
they made some changes, like
and,
you saw in the previous segment. Richard Marston won the One Lunger mod race. Some guys in modifications. That was one of the things they split up this year.
Yeah.
They also have a 2-cylinder, and then they had some 120 stuff at the beginning. But the big deal of the day is this One Lunger stuff, and what you're going to see, at the end of the segment is the actual stock One Lunger, and but you'll see the differences in the guys, and the guy that just called his buddy Rob on Thursday and said, "Give me a sled, we're going racing," right? Why, he shows up with a sled, doesn't do any work on it, never takes it apart, right? Versus the guys that probably by mid-July are preparing their machine to go race this.
Preparation shows. I mean, it's like the team that won, basically was a team.
Three sleds in the top 5.
And Greg Letourneau, who ended up winning, he was, Sean Martin's crew chief. He is Sean Martin's crew chief, but he owns all the sleds. Had Sean Martin driving one, himself driving one. He actually had 4. Travis Stearns and his brother-in-law.
So they, they were prepared.
They were prepared, and
unlike
they won both the heats. Sean won one, he won one.
Yeah.
And then he wins the overall. I mean, that shows preparation.
Unlike the guy that called his buddy Rob and said, "Give me a sled, let's go," right? And Rob gives me a sled, and we put it in the truck, and I wasn't what we needed.
Rode around with an Elan in the back.
I really don't think.
You just wanted to make it look like you were important when you got there. Listen, I'm here for the show. I got the Elan in the back.
Something tells me the Elan 250 wasn't hauling me. Right? I looked like Tyler King out there. Remember how slow he was? That's what I would have looked like. Poor Tyler King came, and they tried to run the stock class. I said, "Scott, this ain't you. You got to bring the kid a sled." So I'm sure next year Tyler will be back next year.
Oh, yeah.
But, it was a great time up there, and you get a chance, to go and check one of these out, because it is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's fun. There's all kinds of activities.
Yeah, as you can see, and the racing is fun. So you're going to hear a word with the winner of the race, Greg Letourneau, who's usually the guy behind the scenes, but nice to interview a winner that's, also heavily involved in stock car racing.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all the winners up there, and, hear what Greg has to say.
All right, end of a long day up here in Turner, Maine at the Turner Ridge Runners One Lunger event. Standing here with the winner, Greg Letourneau, and it's not easy running this race.
Oh, no, it isn't not easy at all. That is quite an athletic feat, I can tell you that.
When we hear everybody talk about the race and how hard it was, and, to get the vehicles to come in, mostly they talk about, but it's about stamina for the driver and the equipment holding up.
That's what it's all about, stamina and keeping the equipment together. Try to pace yourself so you don't completely kill yourself at the beginning there. We had a good run, Pat and I, but we were pacing ourselves. We were racing, but we were racing smart, giving each other room. So we both wanted to finish this thing, so taking each other out wouldn't work well for either one of us.
Yeah, and you say you and Pat, because, you guys were putting on a battle like it was coming to the checkers, and I look up and I go, they haven't even hit halfway yet, but you guys did. You raced clean, and then it was going to come down. I think he had another punch he was going to throw at you, so to speak. He was. And something broke on his sled.
Yeah, I could see he was kind of, I can't say setting me up, but he backed off a little bit, knowing that third place was quite a ways back, letting me go beat myself up some. So I kind of backed myself up a little bit, save a little energy, and when I see him come, I'd go again, put a little more. Learned a lot today about pacing yourself and just not, trying to pace yourself for the 50 laps. It's a long race. At lap 25, I'm like, this could end any time now. I'm good.
Yeah, and how many years have you run this event?
This is like my 8th year, I guess. And usually I break, or usually most of the time I break. Something falls off the sled. And to be honest with you, 3 more laps, I had a right front ski that was ready to come off.
Now, you put a few other sleds out there for some other drivers, right?
Yeah, I do. I got my buddy Sean Martin, crew chief Sean Martin's late model. I guess it's a pro late model this year. And Travis Stearns here, I fix his sleds up and give them sleds to run. They get kind of nice, just like they do at the racetrack. They just show up, jump on the sleds and race. I set them all up for them, get them ready to go.
Yeah, and that was quite a battle. And one thing you run into right off the bat out here is lap traffic and guys stopping on the track and carnage everywhere. And it's another thing you got to deal with.
Oh, that was tough. Is try to kind of look ahead on how you're going to get through this corner when there's lap traffic there. And there was times I almost got taken out. I'd get by somebody just tiptoeing, being smart, and somebody comes in hot in the corner, and I get whacked in the rear end by a sled I just passed, and I'm like, oh. Fortunate. I was fortunate to get through that.
What's pretty cool about this is it's always the race car drivers that we talk to in Victory Lane and stuff, but to stand here with a crew chief, crew chief all summer, and then come out here and show them all your taillight, so to speak, on the in the one-lunger. So congratulations, Greg.
Yeah, I'll get to rub it in a little bit to the man, so have a good time.
Bragging rights for the winner.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to thank Turner Ridge Riders. They did a great job putting this thing on. The track held up well. Considering we had that warm weather this week, they put on a great show. It's well organized. I race several other around New England. We do a few more races other than just here, and they're top notch. You do a great job setting this thing up, getting it on, getting the people in here. They do an excellent job.
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal day. So that's the winner of not the inaugural, but what is it, the 14th, 15th annual one-lunger event up here at Turner, Maine, Greg Letourneau.
0% financing for the first time in history on select certified pre-owned vehicles at Southern Maine Motors. Southern Maine Motors is selling so many new Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeeps that they are overloaded with great trade-ins. Now with live market vehicle pre-owned pricing gathered by electronically polling over 20,000 pre-owned car websites every hour, they will show you their competitor's closest vehicle and price. Proof that you are getting the fairest deal out there. Visit them on Route 1 in Saco or online at southernmainmotors.com.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, 2 of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. Most people know us for our RV sales and service. We're also Maine's largest trailer dealer. With over $1 million in stock and online at scottsrecreation.com. From 2-place opens to 5-place enclosed and everything in between. Our showrooms are stuffed with used snowmobiles, new jackets, bibs, pants, gloves, boots and helmets, plugs, belts, oil, and more. We're ready for winter. Are you?
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by Award Champs, rewarding your champions, the official supplier of Mainley Motorsports TV.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Well, now we're into March, so, I mean, it's crunch time for these teams.
It's marching along.
Yeah, it's crunch time for these teams to get prepared for race season. I know Wiscasset has hopes to open on April 6th. The MRS, which, right outside our studio, 25 feet away from the studio, is MRS car being prepared to run by Jacob Dorr down to, the Waterford race, as well as, a couple of races at Loudon.
The Waterford Speed Bowl.
He's got a month to be ready, and then, I mean...
It gets into preparation, and as well as I do the different aspects of that and what it takes, and it's that time. It's getting down to that time where you got to stop moving along and getting stuff together and putting pieces where they got to go. And
everybody's still on the sponsor hunt.
Right.
I mean,
I saw a few people recently, and on Facebook and stuff like that, and saying, it's that time of year again. I got to be looking, I'm looking for sponsorship help and this and that. For you people out there who haven't been around racing very long, this is not the time of year to be looking for a sponsor. in the fall is when you look for a sponsor. That's my tip.
Greg's Garbage. That's what we started the segment. Greg's Garbage.
Archie, you want to sponsor that?
But no, it's no. You're right because
no,
you know,
it really is, because what a lot of people don't know is a lot of businesses, their fiscal year ends in the fall at some point, September, October. They reset their budgets for the next year
now,
and what they can spend on advertising.
Now,
and
for
stuff.
most of the people we're dealing with, it really doesn't play a part, because when you talk that, you're talking to a guy when you're asking big money. Don't think the guy, if the guy, you ask a guy for a $200 sponsor,
you know, that,
okay, and he can't afford to sponsor you for a couple $100,
that,
it has nothing to
that
do
guy
with,
who has his own construction company, he might still follow that same model.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
You don't know.
Yeah. I always found the creative way is just to not look for it all in one lump sum.
Right.
Try to break it out. And,
Yep.
and like, and I've said on here 100 times, and I'll say it 100 more times, do the little extra. Just because the guy and you come to an agreement that you're going to run his name on your quarter panel and he's going to give you 500, you do more.
Right.
You do more than that. The hats, the shirts, the pictures, the emails, the phone calls,
They say that any money that you get taken in from a sponsor, you should spend 10 to 20% of that back on the sponsor. and
Yeah,
what
somehow,
they've done.
whether it's
Right.
plaques or
Right.
apparel or
that stuff
anything.
adds up, but
You
yeah.
know, race tickets and and I don't know a track out there that wouldn't help you do something if they thought that a special night and 4 grandstand tickets. I don't know any track promoter that wouldn't want to help your race team help fund
Right.
it. That wouldn't do that. And
You're their show.
and I'll tell you, I'm real anxious to see what happens up here in Maine this year. We have 6 tracks. Spud the last couple of years has been on again, off again, on again, off again. Troy is, seems pretty excited that things are going to go forward.
Right.
Unity, I mean, that was buried 3 months ago.
Jerry
Humphrey stepped
got his
up.
fingers into it.
And
he's
as you
getting
can
it
see
back
on
up.
Facebook, it's going to be the same as the Long John and stuff. He's just going to do a lot with it.
Yep.
And then Oxford over there with Tom. I mean, it's just, 3 tracks changing ownership hands. And I think, and I hope
and really,
Wiscasset.
Wiscasset too, because I mean, even though Richard and Vanessa had it at the end of the year last year, this is going to be their first foray into what happens.
So they're going to reach out with us. We're going to have Jerry on the show coming up. Ken Minot's going to come down. We're going to talk to him. Talk about some of the things that they're making changes and what they hope to do. And I heard some of the changes that some of these tracks are doing, and I stand behind them. I think I think they got some pretty good ideas.
And we do have those New Hampshire fans too. Pretty much, I haven't really heard anything big changes going on in New Hampshire as far as tracks and stuff like that.
No, so everything's still the norm. I think Star's got one little new division. It's kind of like an entry-level division. It's going to go. Talk to Bob Watson. He's pretty excited over the league. They got a car show coming up. Obviously the big, the big things down there is, both of them put on an ISMA race.
Yeah.
Later in the year, the MRS goes to Lee for Oktoberfest. Kind of one of their big deals.
The ACT's going to Star this year.
ACT, you got the Governor's Cup, which
Right.
is basically 5 weeks away down to Lee.
Right.
So I mean, it's coming quick.
And then Star also has the SBM.
Oh yeah, that thing's just it's growing.
I mean,
growing.
it's in that stage where it's going, it's jumping.
Yeah, but
more
I
and
was,
more. It's not taking leaps,
just,
it's jumps.
I was just going through my stuff the other day and just thinking, the Governor's Cup is just around the corner. So,
and the Governor's Cup last year at Lee was a great race.
Yeah. So and I last year I think we were testing somewhere. This year we got nothing. I mean,
Right.
So I plan on being there
Yep.
and bringing the footage back and kind of kicking everything off.
I mean, it was a great race. There was so much strategy thrown into it because as soon as the guy fired tires on, he was instantly half a second faster.
Yeah.
And it just brought that into it. And that's what I like. I like the strategy.
And then we have a guest cameraman today. We usually don't have a cameraman. We just start taping and don't stop. But we got a cameraman in the house today, Ivan Careful, and he's going big car racing this year over the Star. So be exciting for him, and do some more go-kart racing. His little brother's really his career is starting off, and is mainly Motorsports number 7. So
Ivan's going up, Owen's going up, Rob's wallet's going down.
Oh yeah. Oh Rob. Rob's got plenty of money. Trust me. Rob's got it. He's got it. I think it's buried out back, but he's got it. He's got it.
Is he a mason jar kind of? Like, if Rob kicks the bucket, are we hitting his backyard with one of those white metal finders?
Oh, no, we'll have to bring the excavator. Oh yeah, no, I think we gotta bring the excavator. You ain't gonna bring a little shovel.
He's got a treasure chest under there.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like who was that Captain Hook? He was looking for Peter Pan's treasure chest.
See, Kendra hangs out with your wife, so I'm sure Rob doesn't have plenty of money.
No, I know it, but no, and it's neat to see all these young kids taking the next step. See some of the other guys, and we're still trying to get confirmation. And I'm pretty sure we got confirmation, but I don't want to throw it out there until those guys say, yeah, let's throw it out there. But some guys that might be taking their weekly programs and going going tour racing. So
yeah, we're waiting for that solidity.
Yeah, or I'll just say it some week and say, oh well, I said it. Big deal, right?
Right.
But it's good, and excited for everybody, and hopefully 2013. And I'm going to spend some time over the next month talking to some track personnel and different people and some different drivers in here, and find out what their plans are and what they have going on.
And like we've said right along, we're open for ideas. If you have an idea for something, shoot Steve an email.
Yeah.
He'll either say nope, or he'll fine tune it to his liking.
Yeah, no, exactly. So we're going to take a break, come back right here on Mainley Motorsports.
Under the bright lights of your playing field, one performer continues to shine. The Fisher Extreme V. With durable X-bracing, the Extreme V carries the load. With precision passes, the power to bust through, the maximum protection of the Fisher trip edge, and the brightest lights available. Fisher, your business, our passion.
See Weir's Motor Sales Incorporated in Arundel.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations, and online at scotchrecreation.com.
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
And one of the interviews that we caught up there down at Racing Preview was Joe Gardner, who's heavily involved with Maine Vintage. And I like what you did there, trying to, I don't want to spoil the interview, but, what you guys mainly focused on talking about, because, and we should have had the GOT membership thing. I'm going to see if I can get that from Ann Hannaford. We have that on here some week.
Yeah.
GOT membership. I think that's pretty cool, you know, and trying to get people to be involved in that organization,
Yeah, it's a neat organization, and, I think me and Joe hit on a lot of the points in the interview of what our point was, and I don't want to spoil it either.
And one of the things about that organization, and some of the things they do, obviously everybody knows they do Summerfest. They do big displays at the shows. They do big stuff in the summer. But their banquet coming up here, I think in March.
Hall of Fame induction.
Hall of Fame induction, where they induct, 4, 5, 6 new members every year. You'll never, ever get the history of the sport all in one place. Maybe Summerfest is the only other place I can think of where you'll have the people there.
Right.
Summerfest is a different day. They're up at the banquet. They're there to mingle. They're there to really, and I've been to.
You catch stories and stuff like that. You hear stories during when guys expect,
So, and I've been to a bunch of those banquets, and I don't know if it's going to work out that I can go up this year, but I just enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
It really is a good time. So.
And they pass out a nice award to a driver of the year each year. They nominate 3 guys for driver of the year for the state, and they pass it out.
It's really good. So enjoy, and for the younger generation, I'll give you that much. Listen to what Greg and Joe talk about in this piece. With Joe Gardner from Racing Preview.
We're here at Racing Preview 2013, and I'm standing here with Joe Gardner from the Maine Vintage Race Car Association, and this is a conversation that Joe and I have had a few times about some different things, and we figured we'd talk about it a little bit on camera, and maybe we can conjure up something out of it. And that conversation that we've had, Joe, is the fact that the Maine Vintage Race Car Association is based on the past.
Yeah.
And we also want it to be based on the future also. We want to drag the past into the future the more we can. And in doing that, we need to gain more membership in guys my age group, the 25 to 45 demographic. You know, what are some of the pros and cons, and how are we going to do this? How, you know,
what we want to do is we want to invite people within that age group, because eventually we're not going to be around, and it's up to them to carry on the history of the state of Maine racing, and that's what it's all about. It's about the history of the state of Maine, you know, racing. And by that time, it'll be cars that they ran, okay? It won't be just, you know, modifieds and super modifieds and things like that. But it will be, you know, class, you know, because these are the cars we're racing now. And it's just to continue on. But it's also the fact that we're saving history, and, okay, we're promoting the history of, you know, past champions within that group, and the fact that, well, yeah, it's history. It's just saving history. It's not letting it die with the individual or the car.
Right. And you know, some of the other great features about the Maine Vintage Race Car Association that maybe guys, you know, my age group don't realize is you have the Hall of Fame ceremony. And if you've never been to it, that's something that you need to experience. It's one of a kind, and there is emotion because it means so much to these guys. But I can't even describe, you know, my own emotion when I see how it affects these guys, and you think about the future and stuff like that. So you do need to do stuff like that, and you also have the Summerfest event at Beech Ridge, which if you've never been to Summerfest and gone out and experienced it and looked at the cars and had the time, if you go to Summerfest, you'll get it. And these are the things that we need to get involved in our age group, and we need to explore the opportunities, and the first step to that is becoming a member.
Right.
And you know, I like your slogan, "Got membership." You know.
Right. Yeah.
So we're gonna.
Membership only costs $20 a year. The Summerfest is going to be the first weekend in August this year at Beech Ridge Speedway, which is August 5th. It's kind of a picnic, you know, sort of deal, but if you got a car and you want to come out and run it on the track, you're free to do it. You know, no test sessions or anything like that, but, you know, it's for vintage racing. As far as the Hall of Fame, it's the Maine State Hall of Fame for race car drivers. And that just goes along with preserving the history. You can look at all the past members that have been in for the last 10 years, and they're all Hall of Famers. And there's still a lot of track champions out there that need to go in. But we're only limited to so many people per year. Maybe in the future we'll change that, you know, because we are evolving, we're still growing.
Right, and it's a learning process, and, you know, and I think that's one of the things that we've talked about is gathering our age group, because we need to preserve it, but you also need some fresh ideas to try to get that.
We need fresh blood all the time.
And you know, one of the things that we're starting to get into, and you and I have talked about, is the era of cars.
Yep.
You know, rumor that I heard is that one of Dick McCabe's old LeSabres is out there, and that's being restored.
Yeah.
Now that's my age demographic,
Okay.
and I think stuff like that is going to draw us in.
Some of the Busch cars, like, you know,
Dodo's got the old Power Team car over there.
Yeah,
and
but Joe Bessie's also got one of his cars, and hopefully we'll get that in. Yeah, some of the old Busch North cars and some of the ACT cars. Ricky Craven was just, you know, with us up at Augusta, and he is all aboard. He really wants to help us out. He's just told us anything you want, just ask.
Right.
And You know, we got some things in the mix, you know, we're thinking about doing. But, yeah, it is all about the cars, and it's also about the drivers. But first it starts with a car. That driver's got to have a car.
It's true. It's true. And, you know, that the cars and the Maine Vintage Car Association, Race Car Association, they're like the showpieces, and that's what people remember sitting in the stands, and that's what draws it in. And, you know, I think it was another good talk for us, and we're trying to gain, like I said, I can't say it enough, we're trying to gain the 25 to 45 demographic.
If we could bring in those cars, okay, we're talking maybe 5 years down the line, these cars, okay, they're going to, you know, is anybody going to remember them? Okay, can you go back 5 years and start listing a bunch of cars, you know, that ran at different speedways and what they looked like? Okay, there you go.
Perfect example. Joe Gardner, Maine Vintage Race Car Association. Look him up on Facebook if you have any questions about joining and being a member. Become a member, support Maine Vintage Race Car Association. We here at Mainley Motorsports, we do.
Welcome to Mainley Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainley Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. Most people know us for our RV sales and service. We're also Maine's largest trailer dealer. With over $1 million in stock and online at scottsrecreation.com. From 2-place opens to 5-place enclosed and everything in between. Our showrooms are stuffed with used snowmobiles, new jackets, bibs, pants, gloves, boots and helmets, plugs, belts, oil, and more. We're ready for winter. Are you?
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
You're watching Mainley Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Gary Hotels, located in Brunswick, Freeport, Waterville, and Augusta, the official hotel of Mainley Motorsports. Clark's Car Crushing, providing guaranteed honest weights with top dollar being paid.
Well, next week we'll have all the DT 100 footage. And
Yep.
Not all of it, because it was a long day of racing. And
Dave McGuire's got his work cut out for him.
tell you though, I mean, where can you go
and see all those guys?
when it changes each year, and you know it's starting to take on a little more local flavor? And you know, I talked to Dave, and you know.
And you know, I know it doesn't. It's not what Dave Thomas wants. The kind of racing that happened at times, and it was funny. I said to Kyle Fredrickson yesterday at the DT, because he was there.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I go, you know what's great about this event, Kyle? I go, there's so much talent and championships and quality drivers who come from all kinds of different forms of motorsports throughout the Northeast and beyond even. And they're racing they're basically paying to race because they have to fundraise.
Yeah.
I says they're paying to race. They're racing for a plastic trophy and bragging rights. And they're driving like it's the first time they ever got in a street stock. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's like a chance for them to let their hair down at times, I think. But you see a lot of hands flying out the side of the car.
I think I'd turn around and I'd hit somebody head on. Just remember that next year in the Obese Invitational.
Well,
that'll be
and
a
you
mess.
wonder why I don't want to race.
That'll
with
be a
Steve.
mess. Me and you hitting head on at 40 in a go-kart.
Yeah, no.
But you know, it's neat as you walk around, you get to talk to some of the guys. You know, I get to see Joey Dwyer and congratulate him on his win
Yep.
over at Auburndale. Probably spent 15, 20 minutes talking with Cassius Clark. You know, and
I said at the Pro All-Star Series owners
Oh,
table
with John
Joe's,
and- yeah.
with Joe's dad and
Yeah.
Travis Benjamin's
Yeah.
dad, and talked
John
to them.
and Ronnie, yeah.
John told me, he goes, "Boy, that weather down in Florida was nice." I go, "Did you guys have any? Did you and the wife have any opportunity to think about calling Joey up and saying, 'Hey, you're taking control of the shop up there in Maine. We're staying in Florida'?" He just laughed. So it was pretty funny.
Yeah, so I was talking to Cassius about some stuff, and it's neat because you don't get a chance to talk to these guys a lot. You don't run into them. You don't call them, but pretty much the same thing over there at Height Motorsports. And Cassius gave me an idea for us.
Oh, really?
Cassius was in the Skowhegan Fair Demolition Derby.
I know, he told me. Me and Dan were talking to him, and I heard that story.
What do you think?
What do I think?
If I can get Walter and Corey Height to get us a couple cars, me and you go in the demo derby up there next year.
Can they mount a seat in the middle? Because we already hang out to the left. We're gonna.
Will you
we'll
be in the derby?
No.
Will you do anything, sissy? Now, don't people? I don't even get questioned why I call you Sissy Emerson. You know what they say? You're right. You're right. He is a sissy. It's a demolition derby. Big deal. They don't hit high speeds.
Listen.
Fonzie was in one. The Tuscadero sisters.
Was it?
The Tuscadero. Remember Pinky Tuscadero and the Malachi Crunch? I mean, come on. Oh my God.
You just dated yourself.
Listen. The next co-host that I have here, female, have some kahunas. Have more kahunas
Hey,
than Greg.
if it's a big Impala and the schedule works out,
we'll go because they have.
I need a big car though.
Of course you do. What do you think? They'll put you in a Chevette?
Well, you never know. Cassius would do that just because it would be funny for him.
Same thing. You know what he did? Showed up the demolition derby. Same thing. When he showed up the lawnmowers that time, you know what he had? No helmet. Oh, I don't need a helmet. You know what he showed up at the demolition derby or something?
He had like a ski helmet.
Yeah, he brought a ski helmet. This kid's Cassius gets it done. But and then so yeah, there's an idea, and next week, like I said, we'll have our DT 100 footage, and then we'll get a piece from Crazy Horse.
Yeah,
We're up there, spend some time with Mitch, and they got some stuff happening.
Yeah, Crazy Horse is first class facility. Mitch and Judy are great people. They get it. We all know. The piece will show.
Yeah.
More about that.
We were up there a few years ago, and you see the progression that the shop's made, and they're
top notch.
Yeah, they got some good stuff, and so make sure you tune in next week. Tell all your friends about us. I mean, Time Warner, Channel 9, Wednesdays and Friday nights. Miss that? Go to PME on Saturday mornings. And that's all over. Everything. So WPME.
And on the internet. Yeah.
And then the internet. Dave Stewart putting it on the internet, and so there's no reason if you want to find us, you can't find us.
Right.
We ain't that small.
We're eye-catching.
We're eye-catching. All right. For Greg, I'm Steve. I hope you enjoyed this week's edition, and we'll see you next time right here on Mainley Motorsports.
Yeah.